It is now my honor and privilege to introduce my other Bodden Town colleague, the Honorable Charles Clifford. There was only one person that I know of that got seriously victimized for trying to do the right thing, as Minister Clifford tried to do when he was not comfortable with things that he saw going on within the government system. But I know that the majority of the Caymanians out there know and understand what he was doing. We're proud in Bodden Town to have him running with us. I'll tell you who that other person was. Please put your hands together for Minister Clifford, nice and loud. That other person was myself. I was driving along a few years ago, probably 20, 30 years ago on the West Bay Road, and a police car ran into the back of me. You know, if you get hit from behind, it's always the person that hit you. Of course, I had to go to court and pay for it, so I can easily sympathize with Minister Clifford. But he's here tonight to tell you his agenda, what he's accomplished, to talk about him traveling. How in the world you can promote tourism if you stay in the Cayman Islands? It ain't gonna happen. I now welcome my Bodden Town colleague and colleague in the cabinet, Mr. Charles Clifford. Thank you. Chucky.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to all of you who are here this evening to help us celebrate what we've achieved over the last 4 years, and to begin this walk with us again as we maintain good governance in the Cayman Islands and ensure that this country has a government that can lead it and lead it effectively into the challenges that lay ahead. And yes, Minister Eden, I am certainly the target. I've heard some of the comments that have been made before. But you know, ladies and gentlemen, this isn't the first time that I was the target for the UDP. If I haven't learnt over the last 4 years that you can't intimidate me, then something is wrong with a bunch of them. You see, ladies and gentlemen, when it is not necessary to change, it is necessary not to change. Let me say that again. When it is not necessary to change, it is necessary not to change. And so, I have 4 words for you. Don't stop the progress. I only have 10 short minutes, so I'm going to focus on tourism and some Bodden Town issues. And ladies and gentlemen, in our 2005 manifesto, we said then, and we say now, that tourism is the lifeblood of the Cayman Islands economy. And we, as a government, have treated it that way since we've been in office. You know, this government has had to manage tourism through some of the most turbulent times. When we assumed office in 2005, the tourism industry lay in ruins, devastated from Hurricane Ivan. We managed the recovery process, ladies and gentlemen, and we emerged from that disaster with a tourism product that was significantly better than it was before we had that disaster. Ladies and gentlemen, we managed the tourism industry, and many people forget, but we had another hurricane after that called Hurricane Dean. And while that wasn't as devastating as Hurricane Ivan, it caused some damage and caused a significant disruption to travel to the Cayman Islands for several weeks. We then, ladies and gentlemen, had the situation with the significant increases in oil, where we saw oil soar to $154 per barrel. And during that time, we saw many airlines around the world go out of business. And those that didn't go out of business essentially had to return a substantial number of their planes. They had to lay off staff, and they had to do what they had to do to cut costs. all the while starving countries like the Cayman Islands from air arrivals. And so what we did, and there are not many countries in the Caribbean that can boast of this, but we took our pride and joy, our national flag carrier, Cayman Airways, and we repositioned that so that we could fill the gap during these difficult times. And we want to thank you very much. And so as we did that, you know, there were many countries, as I said, around the Caribbean that were wishing that they had a national flag carrier. And I want to take the opportunity to thank the hard-working staff of Cayman Airways, both past and present, for their dedication and commitment. Ladies and gentlemen, as if that wasn't enough, we're now facing the global economic crisis. And so when I tell you that this government has had to manage tourism through some of its most turbulent times, that is no exaggeration. But we have proven over and over that we are capable of doing it and that we will continue to do it. And now, while we hear those in the opposition criticizing us and talking about tourism is in a mess and tourism has been decreasing since this government took office, ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to report to this PPM National Council meeting this evening that the tourism product and the tourism industry has substantially enhanced and improved since we took office. Let me give you some facts, because, you know, we remember the talk show host and all of the negativity that he was putting out there and all of the misinformation, deliberately so. Let me give you the facts. In 2005, when we took office, as I said, the industry was in ruins. We ended that year with a total of 167,802 air arrivals. In 2006, that number had increased to 267,258 air arrivals. In 2007, the number of air arrivals further increased to 291,503. And in 2008, for the first time, ladies and gentlemen, in 6 years, tourism air arrivals exceeded 300,000 when we ended the year. Thank you. When we ended the year at 302,879 air arrivals. Ladies and gentlemen, we've also completed our new 5-year tourism management policy, which has appended to it the Go East Initiative policy. We also have included in that document a cruise tourism policy, the first time we've had a dedicated cruise tourism policy in the country. We have demonstrated substantial support for our national flag carrier, Cayman Airways, because we understand the value of having a national flag carrier. Ladies and gentlemen, we built them, we established for them a new state-of-the-art headquarters. And we did so in the face of significant opposition. And today, ladies and gentlemen, today, even the members of the opposition are benefiting from that new headquarters. They claim that we've done nothing. They say we've done nothing for vocational training. Well, I'm here tonight to tell you that this government, this PPM government, established the first ever tourism apprenticeship training program for this country. We did so 2 years ago, ladies and gentlemen. We've graduated the first class, and we currently have 34 tourism apprentices in training due to graduate this September. We have also, in working on our tourism product and ensuring that we can enhance our tourism product, we have established a customer service program, a very robust customer service program called the PRIDE program. And PRIDE stands for Personal Responsibility in Delivering Excellence. We have trained over 1,500 tourism workers already, and there are more scheduled to be trained. We have established the first dedicated Cayman Islands Department of Tourism in Canada. All of these years, ladies and gentlemen, we have outsourced that service to a marketing agency. We now have our own dedicated Cayman Islands Department of Tourism in Canada because we have focused, as I've said on the radio recently and during the recent press briefing, we have focused more resources on Canada and Europe, because that is part of our mitigation strategy for managing and mitigating against the impacts of Cuba when it eventually opens.